Let me share my screen. Just let me know, guys, once you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay. So let's start our Jenkins server. So, guys, in today's session, we will continue with the freestyle job. Okay, we will also integrate. We will also see how to integrate private repository and what are the trigger options we have, and also like we will build an application. I have a sample Java application, so we will see what exactly is the build tool. I hope you have heard the name Maven. Maven is a build tool, so that also we are going to explore today. So that will be the agenda for today. Meanwhile, guys, if you have any questions in any previous session, feel free to ask the question. And I hope you all are able to access the recordings that I'm daily putting in the same channel. Okay, if you have any questions or any queries, you can just reach out to me or you can put in the group. Okay, let me also log into GitHub. Okay, we are here. I think in the last session, we learned about how to create a freestyle job and different configurable options in the freestyle job. And we have also integrated a GitHub repository, but only the public one. Now today I will show you how you can integrate a private repo. Okay, so if you go inside this job, you are getting this error. Let's check the error. Hmm. It's saying error fetching remote repo origin. Fatal authentication failed for this private repo.git. Okay, as it's a private repository, so it's showing this error that we cannot connect to this private repository. Okay, see, this is a private repo. Now I want to clone it. So in order to clone it, first of all, I need to create the credential. So let's go to the Jenkins and I will go to the credentials and I will create here the credential. So by using that credential, then Jenkins will be able to clone private repository. So let's go to global. and I will add a new credential. So we can add two kind of credential guys here, because GitHub supports two kind of credential. If you remember, first you can use HTTPS URL, and with HTTPS URL you can use your username and the access token, the personal access token. Or if you are using this SSH URL, then we can use a public and private key. So let's go with the first option. I will go with the HTTPS one. So I will go here and click on add credential. Okay, so username with password. Now username will be our username in GitHub. So our username in GitHub is DevOps Farmer. Okay, you can also check it from here. Click on top right side. Whatever you see here, it is your username. Okay, so let's see, let's provide it here. In the password, I need to provide the personal access token. So I will go to settings, and under developer settings, under personal access token classics. Now here I can add a credential. I can create a new token. Let's click on generate new token, and I will go with the classic one. Okay, I need to add OTP. Four, three, zero, two, two, six. So in GitHub, actually, I have enabled the two-factor authentication. So I will say invent tech PAT. What does PAT means? Personal access token, PAT. Look at the expiration, no expiration, and let me give him full permission. If you don't have access to generate this and all, you can ask your GitHub admin to provide you the personal access token. Okay, so let's click on generate token. Now this token is generated. Now this will be used as a password. So I will go here, and in place of password, I will paste here an ID. I will say GitHub HTTP credential. Okay. So same thing I will put in the description. GitHub HTTPS. Okay. So yeah, let's create the credential. Okay. So it is created. This credential. Now let's go to our job. So this is our job. Let's go to configure. Now under source code management, see this, it is showing this error now. Okay, because these are not the valid credential. So let's select our original credential. See, as soon as selected the correct credential, now the error is gone. Okay, so yeah, that's how credentials can help you. So now let's apply and save. Guys, are you getting it? Guys, do you have any question here?
Yeah, no other issue.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is done. Now let's click on build now. You see, now it's working fine. There is no error. It is successful. Yeah, so that's how you can, configure a private repository. Okay, username, that is your GitHub username. Okay, so you can get it from here. And in place of password, you need to provide a personal access token. Is it clear, guys? Okay, next option, if you don't want to use, let's say, this username and password, if you are using SSH URL, then you need to provide a public private key pair. If you go to private, now instead of this HTTPS URL, if you are using this SSH URL, then we need to provide public and private key. Okay, so how to do that? Let me first generate the public and private key. So we need to use this key, SSH key and minus T RSA. So SSH. Okay, minus T and RSA. So yeah, it will save my key pair here. I will say yes. It's saying it already exists, so let me use them. Okay. So you see, in here we have already, my keys are already existing here in this path. So if you don't have, you can generate it. If you already have the keys, then you can use those existing keys. Okay. So I will go to this path. Okay, maybe I can show you SHP. Here I can see the keys. See, these are the keys. This is the public key and this is the private key. Okay, so if I open CMD here, okay, no need. Okay, so these are the two files, ID, RSA, this is the private key. So this is the public key. Where you see .pub, it means that's the public key and it's the private key. Now our keys are generated. So we need to get the public key content. So let me open this public key content. That's how public key looks like. Let me copy it. And now we will add this key in our GitHub. So GitHub, we need to go to settings and deploy keys. So let's go to repository settings and deploy keys. Okay, I see there is already key available, but I will generate a new key. I will say inventec sh. I'll put it here and let's click on add. So key is in already, okay. Okay, we already have this key here, so we don't need to add, but we need to add the private key in Jenkins. So see guys, what the concept? Public key will be in the GitHub and the respected private key will be in the Jenkins. That will allow the communication. Okay. So let me copy this private key. This is a private key. You need to completely copy it. Okay. Control A and Control C. Don't left anything. So let's create a new credentials. So this time I will select option SSH username with private key. So ID will be GitHub SSH credential. Okay, this credential, will say this ID you can give anything, but as I already explained, but you need to make sure you remember it and you give a relevant name. Okay, enter key directly, and I will add my key here. That's it. I pasted my key, and let's put this as a description. Username is our DevOps farmer. This one. Yeah. So passphrase, if you know, see while creating the key, it will ask you for the passphrase. If you have added any passphrase, then only you need to put it here. If you don't provide any passphrase while generating your key, then you don't need to provide any passphrase. Let me create this key. This credential is also created. Okay. So now our both of the credentials are there. If we use HTTPS URL, we can use this credential. If we use SSH, then we can use this credential. Now let's have a demo. So I will copy the SSH URL now. So under source code management, I will provide here the SSH URL and credential. The SSH URL. Okay, it's saying the host key verification field. Okay, let it be. Okay, for this, we need to go to our manage Jenkins. Because if we get this error, okay, that no key known for host in this host key verification failed. So we need to disable this verification that we can do under security. Let's go to security option under manage Jenkins and security. So here you will find some option. See, get post key verification configuration. So just no verification. Okay, so let's apply it and save it.
Yeah. So I was a little bit late. So which topic is going on right now?
It's going, we are going with the freestyle job. Freestyle job, how to connect with private repositories.
Okay.
Okay, so private repository, there are two options to connect with. So there are two URL, HTTPS and SSH. If you go with the HTTPS URL, you can use your username and the personal access token. If you are using SSH, then you need to use public and private key. Public key will be in your GitHub repository setting and private key in the Jenkins. Okay. Okay, now see that error is gone. So if I apply and save, okay, now let's build this job. Okay, see build number 12 successful without any error. So yeah, I showed you how you can work with how you can work with the a private repository by using both of the options, HTTPS and SSH. Let me know guys if you have any questions here. If not, we'll move to the next one. Guys, do we have any question here?
No other issue.
Okay. Okay. Now, so this part is also fine. Now let's quickly go through this triggers. Okay, so under see this option, build triggers. Here you can specify how you want to run your job or how you want to build your job. So what is the current option? How we are building our job currently? We need to go to the job and we need to click on build now button. Correct? But assume a situation that every time you cannot come here and run this job. For example, if you are doing some deployment and that deployment should happen at midnight, let's say 2 a.m. So nobody will be available at 2 a.m. So you cannot manually run this job. Hey Nikhil, do you have anything to say?
Sorry, it's by mistake.
Sorry?
Nothing. It was by mistake. My mic was on.
Okay. Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, so no, every time you cannot run your job manually. Please, you cannot always come here and click on that build now button. So instead, Jenkins also gives us some other ways so with that we can trigger our jobs. Let's take the scenario. Assume that there is a developer who is working on some code changes, and we have told them that once you are done with your code changes, please trigger this job. But also at the same time, you don't want to give him this Jenkins access. So how he can trigger the job? So first option, trigger builds remotely. Okay, so here we can No, we can create a unique URL for our job. So whoever will run that URL, our job will be triggered. Okay, so let's see this in action. So here we need to create an authentication token. Okay, we can use any strong token here. I will use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now use the following URL to trigger build remotely. So your Jenkins URL. Let me just copy this. Okay. Now our Jenkins URL and okay, it's still here only. Our Jenkins URL. So what is our Jenkins URL? Our Jenkins root URL is this till here. And then job freestyle demo and token name is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I need to provide that token here. So these values you need to change according what values we have put there. Now, this is my Jenkins job URL. Okay, to build my job remotely. Now, let me apply and save. Okay, so far I can see build number 12 is there. Now, let's say if I run this URL, assume that we have given this URL to a developer who will trigger this URL after he has done the code changes. Because we are not sure when he will be done, so we cannot wait for him. So instead, we will just create this kind of URL and we can give him. So that will not give him the entire Jenkins access. So once he hit this URL, it will not show anything here. But if you come here and you see build number 13 has been triggered. So that's the benefit. With this URL, he can only trigger the job. He cannot configure your job. He cannot delete your job. Basically, he cannot do anything. He can only trigger the job. If let's say if someone provides the wrong token, then it will fail it. It will fail, it will show error. See, access denied. So he cannot do anything more. But if someone provides the correct token, then it will trigger our job. I hope you got it, guys. Like, what is the use case it can be useful? You can give it URL to anyone with whom you want to trigger this job without giving him the whole job or whole Jenkins process. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, Dinesh, clear.
Okay. Okay. So if you don't want, let's say no, you don't want, so this purpose you are filled up and you don't want this URL to again work, so you can disable it. So that will stop that URL to working. Okay. Next, assume that you want to run your job, but based on another job. Assume Jenkins, you have two job A and job B, and you want to run job B only when job A has been triggered. Okay, like that's called basically a chain sequence. Like what happens that we should only run job B when job A has been run. Okay, so for that, let me go here. Let me create a parent job. So in the real time also, I think you have seen this thing that if this thing happens, then only do this, right? The same thing, sometimes it happens that assume, we have a parent job and we have to only run the child job once parent job is run, then you can use this option, build after other projects are built. So here, let's say I want to first run this Hello World job, and after Hello World job, I should immediately run this first freestyle demo job. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to this freestyle job, freestyle demo, and here we need to select projects to watch. I mean, like which project you want to watch. So I will say hello, and I will see as soon as I type hello, it automatically showing hello world. Now you have the option. See, once you run the job, there could be multiple possibilities. Either the job will fail or job will pass, okay, or job will be aborted. Aborted means job is running, but you have manually just clicked on the check, the job is aborted. There could be those situations. Now, when you want to run this freestyle demo job, once Hello World job is stable or Hello World job is unstable, Hello World job is failed or always trigger. Okay, so if you select this option, trigger only build stable, so it will only trigger your freestyle job once Hello World job is successful. Okay, so let's say for easiness, I will select this fourth option, always trigger, even if the build is aborted. It means it will always trigger, Hello World will always trigger this freestyle demo job, whatever happens to this Hello World job, whether it fails, pass, or aborted anything. Okay, so let's see it in action. Let me apply it and save. Okay. So now you see, once I come to Hello World job, it is automatically showing me here downstream project. So Hello World job is the upstream project, and it has attached with the downstream project freestyle demo. And if you go to freestyle demo, on the freestyle demo, Hello World job is showing as upstream project. I hope you are getting it, guys. Now let me run this Hello World job. As soon as the job will run, let's wait here. You see, build number 15 has been triggered. Who has triggered this job? Build number 15. It was triggered by Hello World job. Okay. So how we can see, as we can see here, lots of builds. Build number 12, 13, and 14, 15. How we will verify, which build has been triggered by whom? So if you go inside your job, if you go inside your build, you see at the very top line, started by upstream project. Hello World with build number 4. It means this build number 15 has been triggered by Hello World job, specifically build number 15. Okay, if we go and check build number 14, yeah, let's go to build number 14. Now build number 14 was started by remote host 223 this. It means if you remember, this build number 14 we triggered from a remote URL. So in the remote URL, it is grabbing my IP address, like which IP address has been triggered. As we all know that each machine on the internet has its IP address. So if I check my IP address, my IP. Okay. This is my IP 223.266.199.156. This is showing here. Because this job was triggered from my system, it shows my IP address here. Clear, guys? That's how you can chain two jobs so that one job should be triggered after another job. Now, here you can heard many terminologies like downstream and upstream project and parent and child jobs. Okay, so in this case, Hello World is the parent job and Freestyle Demo is the child job. Any question, guys? So now we have seen these two build triggers. Next option, build periodically. What does that mean? So let's take a scenario or take a situation, right? That I want you to trigger my job every day at midnight, or I want to trigger this job on every Monday at 1 a.m. Or I'm doing the deployment once in a month, so I want to trigger this job on every month 10. Okay. So it could be anything, but the whole idea here is that we want to schedule our job to be run on a specific time frame or a specific period or a specific date. Okay. Now, as a human, we cannot remember all those, right? So let's say we want to run this job at every midnight 1 a.m. So first of all, nobody will be available at 1 a.m. So this should be automatically triggered. Or this job has a schedule that it need to be run every week, every week Friday 10 a.m. or every month on date 10. So we as a human we may miss it, right? Because we cannot remember and sometimes we miss it. So instead, we can use this build periodically option under build trigger and we can specify our time schedule and based on that, Jenkins will automatically trigger this job. Okay. So how does that work? Let's see it in action. So let me select this box, build periodically. Now here it is asking me to provide the schedule. On which schedule you want to trigger this job. Now in the schedule, I cannot write like this. No, like run every midnight 1 a.m. We cannot write like this. The Jenkins won't understand it. Instead, to schedule the job, Jenkins use a utility called cron expression. Have you ever heard about cron?
Yes.
Okay, what do you understand by cron? Can you please let me know?
It's a scheduler, right?
Exactly. So it's a scheduler utility in Linux where you can specify a schedule in a proper format, and cron will understand that format. That's what we wanted to say. Okay. So if you go with the definition, cron daemon is a built-in Linux utility that reads the cron tab file and executes commands and script at predefined times and intervals. So we can specify a time frame as form of cron expression, and then cron will read it and it will automatically run all those whatever we have mentioned at that specified time. Now there is a good utility where you can generate cron expression for any time for any interval. It's clone tab.guru. Let me ping it in chat box. Okay, here you can see that how to write a clone tab. You can see some examples, you can see some reference. So clone expression we write in 5 segments. This is the first segment, second segment, third, fourth, and fifth. Each segment denotes a different time unit. For example, the first one denotes the minutes. Second one denotes the hour. Third one denotes the day of the month. And this one denotes the months, like January, February, March, or first month, second month, like that. And last one denotes the day of the week. By doing permutation and combination, we can derive any value from here. For example, I want to run my job every day, 2 a.m. Okay, or let's say 2 a.m. and 10 minutes. So I can say 2 here and 10 here. So it will run our job every day at 2 a.m. and 10 minutes. Okay, so not, I will say no, okay, I don't want to run my job on every day. Instead, only run my job on Monday. Okay, so I will just say Monday. Okay, day of the month. Okay, day of the month means, there are 31 days, so I need to provide any one of that value. So I will say here, I want to only run my job at every month, every day of month 10. It means this expression will run my job at 2 to 10 on every month's 10 days. Okay. Now, if I want to run my job on a specific day, I can specify here. So this expression basically means it will run my job on every month, okay, on Monday this time. So by manipulating these values, you can generate any kind of syntax, any kind of expression. For example, let's say here, okay, month. So it has some limitation. So it cannot have a value greater than 12. Because we all know we have only 12 months. So if I provide here 13, that's not a valid number. Okay, if I provide 10, that means October. Right? 1 is January and 12 is December. It's like that. If you don't want to provide a number, you can simply provide like Jan, Feb, March, like this. I hope you are getting it right.
Yes, Dinesh.
Okay, so now for now, let's take a schedule, and here in the bottom you can see some examples. Okay, if I go to examples, here I can see many examples. So I cannot schedule my job now at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. because we cannot sit that long time to wait. So instead, I will select this option every 2 minutes. This is the syntax to run your job every 2 minutes. So let me copy this and we will put this in our job here. As soon as you put here, Jenkins will read. Okay. So would last time this here it will show when your job would have run last time and when it will run on the next one. So let's apply it and save. Okay, now let's wait for 2 minutes. It's showing build number 15. So build number 15, after 2 minutes, it will automatically trigger a build number 16. You see, this build number 16 has been triggered automatically. I don't have trigger. So it has triggered at 11:20 a.m. Okay, it's showing the UTC time. Okay, it does not show our, local IST time. It shows the UTC time. If I show you here, UTC time now, it's 11:20. Okay, it shows the universal time only. So 11:20. Now, if we wait for 2 more minutes, sharp 11:22, it will trigger one more job. Let's wait. But wait for 1 more minute, and it will trigger this. It's 22. You see, sharp 22, it has triggered us. Now, how you will verify who triggered the job? You just go inside the job like this, and you see it started by time. Okay. Any question, guys? So now you have to figure out various ways to trigger the job. First option, you can trigger it manually. Second, you can trigger it remotely, by creating a unique URL. Third, you can trigger a job by watching another job. Fourth, you can trigger job. Fourth, you can trigger job uh, by specifying a schedule. Okay. Any questions so far? Now I will stop it because otherwise it will keep on running my job every 2 minutes. Okay, so I will disable it. Okay, let me know if you have any more question here. Okay, I will take it as no. Now next option is a very interesting option, and most of the times we use this GitHub hook trigger for Git HCM only. What does that mean? It means we can create a Jenkins and GitHub webhook. Okay, so that webhook will basically trigger the job whenever there is a change in the GitHub repository. Okay, so we are currently pointing to this repository. So what I will do, I will create a webhook in Jenkins and webhook in GitHub. So to create a webhook, you need to first select this box and apply, and then you need to go to your GitHub and go to repository and click on settings. Here you will find the option webhooks, and under webhook we can add a webhook. Just click add webhook. Now here we need to provide our Jenkins URL. So I will provide this. At the end of the URL, you need to add this slug GitHub webhook like this. Now no need to provide any secret. And here you need to select the event on which event you want to trigger the job. Just the push event, send me everything, or you can select the individual event. So like when you create a branch or when you create a check when you deploy a key, you deploy folks, issue comment, labels, like on what action you want to trigger the job, you can select. I will just say send me everything. See guys, let me explain again. Webhook. Okay, what is the webhook? Webhook will basically, connect two services together. So here we are trying to connect GitHub and Jenkins so that whenever whenever GitHub detects any changes in the repository, it will let our Jenkins know that, hey Jenkins, there is some change in this repository. So to let Jenkins know the changes, our GitHub should first know the Jenkins address. So this is the Jenkins address I specified and on which action. So I selected this action. Let's click on add webhook. See, this showing the check marks. It means our webhook creation was successful. And here we just selected this box for GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling. So let's save it. Now our webhook is ready. I will do some change in this repository. I will do a dummy commit. And as soon as I do a commit, you can see that my job will be triggered. Okay, till now, build number 17. Let's go and let's modify a file. I will open this readme file and I will do a change here. So I'm just doing a commit, guys. Okay, I'm just changing something here. So let me commit the change. Now we have changed something in our repository. So Jenkins should be able to detect that change. It's right here. So showing build number 17 so far. Okay, you see now build number 18 has been triggered. If you go inside it, so you see console output started by GitHub push by DevOps form. It means in GitHub there was a push from this user. Jenkins can detect it. So guys, that is called CI. CI means whenever you change something in the repository, your respected Jenkins job should be automatically triggered. Okay, that is called continuous integration. Now, no need anything. Whenever developer push any changes in the repository or in the application, the job will be started and it will start building, testing, and deploying. Any question here, guys? I hope you all are good here.
Yes, sir. Good, Dinesh.
Okay. So, guys, this is an important concept. You should remember it because sometimes in the interview, you may be heard this question that like how you can, what are the different trigger options in Jenkins, or how to create a webhook, or what is the webhook in Jenkins and GitHub integration. So you should be able to answer it. Lastly, we have this poll SCM. Okay, so in this first option, what is happening? Whenever there is a change, GitHub will automatically notify Jenkins that there is a change. In this option, we can specify a schedule. Okay, let's say star, 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 and star. It means every minute. So whatever schedule we provide, after that, Jenkins will call to GitHub that, hey, there is a new change or not. So these two are, vice versa. In here, GitHub will let Jenkins know that, hey, there is a change. In this, after every specified time, Jenkins will ask to GitHub that, hey, is there any change or not? Is there any change or not? And whenever it finds the change, it will trigger the change. So you got the difference? In here, Jenkins will keep on asking after this schedule. And here, whenever there is a change, GitHub will automatically notify.
So can you show the GitHub book trigger again once?
I can. So to enable, GitHub hook trigger, first you need to check this box in your job configuration and then apply and save. Then you need to go to your GitHub repository and go to settings. And under settings, you will find this webhook option, left side. Here you need to create a webhook, add webhook, and under payload URL, you need to specify your Jenkins URL. So on this URL, GitHub will tell that there is new change available. Okay, so here you need to provide a Jenkins URL. Your Jenkins URL will look like this. And at the end, you need to add a slug GitHub. Okay. Okay, clear? No need to provide any secret. And now here you need to select the event on which event the job should be triggered. Okay, so if you select send me everything, it means whatever you do in this repo, like if you create a branch or if you delete a branch, you create a PR, you did a commit, you did a git pull, whatever you do, on every change it will trigger the job. Or if you select this option, just the push event, it means it will only trigger the job on push. It will not trigger the job on branch creation or branch deletion or PR creation. Or from here, you can select those specific events. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so I think that's all for the day, guys. If you don't have any more questions, we are good. Do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Okay, guys. And if you don't have any questions, we are good. Just keep on practicing these things. Okay. And tomorrow we'll start with Maven and we will build a real-time application. Till then, thank you everyone and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.